Alive and to be able to smile, to be able to say hallelujah, amen. My pastor is Reverend Dr. Joseph Evans at Friendship Baptist Church. I'm going to give you a brief history of him. He's the Dean of Morehouse School of Religion. He's an associate professor at the Interdenominational Theological Center, also in the AUC Center. He's formerly the Mount Carmel Baptist Church pastor in Washington, D.C. He was a four-sport letterman in high school. He played football at West Virginia Tech. He's also a Kappa Alpha Psi. He's an Army officer. He jumped for the Army. He has a Master of Divinity in Systemic Theology, a PhD in Preaching. He's done several publications. His last one is The Polished King, Living Words of Martin Luther King. He also has the honor of being the Morehouse College Martin Luther King Jr. College of Preachers. His wife is Miss Lovely Patricia Lewis Evans. He has two children, Gabriel, who's in New Orleans, and his son Matthew works for the New York Knicks, and he has 3 grandchildren. It was important for me to bring my pastor up here. As we all know, that this is a difficult place to be in, and if you have a pastor that can pray with you, at my church, the pastors are very personable, so I call my pastors nearly every day and say, can you please pray with me? And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Reverend Dr. Pastor Evans.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Mr. Speaker, majority and minority leaders, to the members of this esteemed and august body, it's a privileged responsibility to share common prayer with you today. My prayer, our prayer, is for the welfare of the citizens of Georgia. Now, I define welfare as our defense of democracy and its obligations and rights. In shorthand, if our laws don't fit the welfare of my mama, it may need reform. And I want to thank you so very much. Misha, Maina, let this house know that I support you, and I want y'all to treat her right. I have evidence that you need improvement. The only thing worse than a Baptist lawyer is a Baptist preacher who has you in his sights. Make certain that you do not mistreat Representative Maynard. I support and love her. Now with that, let us go to God in prayer. If all will stand, thank you. Oh God, we ask now that your presence be felt and known in this place. And we pray that your Spirit fill this chamber and transform it into a sanctuary. A sanctuary where truth will be defended with civility and sophistication and with passion. We pray for each member here that represents the great state of Georgia, which is the democratic space or place in the universe. The whole world is watching Georgia. I have faith and confidence in the people of this chamber to do that which I have described as defending democracy. Our rights and privileges as citizens include our voting, our ability to go to the polls without any hindrance, regardless of party. That is minuscule. It does not matter. What matters is we are to have the rights to vote as our conscience permits us, leads us. Now, we ask these things to keep us for the majority of this day. Do not let my words fall on deaf ears as I take my seat, but let them probe our hearts as we make decisions for the citizens of the state of Georgia. Now, with these words, we ask it in God's name and for his sake. Amen. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Lead in the pledge of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Doorkeepers will unlock the doors. Members may greet the chaplain in the south anteroom. Chair recognizes Chairman Hogan, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee on Information and Audits has read the journal of the previous legislative day and found it to be correct. And furthermore, Mr. Speaker, it's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. Vince Lombardi.
He didn't like seeing the other team get up either. Chairman Hogan, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, reports that the journal of the previous legislative day has been read and found to be correct. Is there any objection to the confirmation of the journal? The chair hears none and the journal is confirmed. The clerk will read the resolution establishing the order of business for the day.
Mr. Burns, on 59 moves following establishes the order of business during the first part of the period unanimous consents. Introduction of bills and resolutions, first reading and reference of House bills and resolutions, second reading of bills and resolutions, reports of standing committees, third reading and passage of uncontested local bills and resolutions, first reading and reference of Senate bills and resolutions, morning orders.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution establishing the order of business for the day? The chair hears none and the resolution is adopted. First reading of bills and resolutions. The clerk will read.
House Bill 1288 by Representative Taylor, the 173rd, Williams, the 145th, Bentley, the 139th, Dempsey, the 13th, Collins, the 68th, and others. Bill be titled Act to Amend Chapter 19 and Title 47 of the Official Code of Georgia and Taylor relating to State Employees Assurance Department.
Insurance.
House Bill 1289 by Representative Taylor, the 173rd, Stevens, the 164th, Petrie, the 166th, Hogan, the 179th, Buckner, the 137th, and others. Bill be entitled an Act to Amend Part 3 of Article 2, Chapter 4, Title 12, the Official Code of Georgia and Taylor relating to surface mining.
Natural Resources and Environment.
House Bill 1290 by Representative Corbett of the 174th, LaHood of the 175th, Burchett of the 176th, Watson of the 172nd, Rhodes of the 120th. Bill be titled Act to Amend Code Section 4883, the Official Code of Georgia and Taylor relating to exemptions from state sales and use taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1291 by Representative Smith, the 133rd, Williams, the 148th, Wiedauer, the 119th, Williamson, the 115th, Frye, the 118th, and others. Bill be titled an Act to Amend Code Section 4883 of the Official Code of Georgia and Taylor relating to exemption from sales and use taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1292 by Representative Jaspers, the 11th, Mathis of the 144th, Irwin of the 28th, England of the 116th, Perkle of the 155th. Bill be titled Act to Amend Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia and Taylor relating to education.
Education.
House Bill 1293 by Representative Lim of the 99th, Wen of the 89th, Byrd of the 20th, Park of the 101st, a bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 1 of Title 50 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to general provisions of state government.
Governmental Affairs.
House Bill 1294 by Representative Corbett of the 174th, Rhodes of the 120th, Liricky of the 169th, LaHood of the 175th, Ridley of the 6th. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 44.7.113 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to government agent to assess abandoned mobile homes.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1295 by Representative Corbett of the 174th, Irwin of the 28th, Wade of the 9th, Dubnik of the 29th. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 6, Article 6, Chapter 2 of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to employment under the Quality Basic Education Act.
Education.
House Bill 1296 by Representative Kennedy of the 102nd. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 1 of Title 53 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating in general to general provisions for wills, trusts, and administration of estates.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1297 by Representative Gamble of the 15th, Fry of the 118th, Weedower of the 119th, Washburn of the 141st, Barr of the 103rd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 32 of Title 33 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to property insurance.
Insurance.
House Bill 1298 by Representative Gamble of the 15th, Mathiak of the 73rd, Green of the 151st, Williams of the 145th, Seabaugh of the 34th. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 8 of Article 8, Chapter 4 of Title 44 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to liens of hospitals and
Judiciary.
nursing homes. House Bill 1299 by Representative Leverett of the 33rd. Bill be titled an act to provide for the judge of the probate court of Elbert County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
House Resolution 756 by Representatives Leverett of the 33rd, Stevens of the 164th, Bentley of the 139th, Fry of the 118th, Blackman of the 146th, and others. A resolution proposing an amendment to the Constitution.
Ways and Means.
Senate Bill 370 by Senator Cowser to the 46th, Huffstetler to the 52nd, Payne to the 54th, Jones to the 22nd, Parent of the 42nd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 7 and Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
Senate Bill 406 by Senator Hickman of the 4th. Bill be titled an act to amend an act reconstituting the Board of Education of Effingham County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 407 by Senator Hickman of the 4th. A bill be titled an act to amend an act creating the Board of Commissioners of Effingham County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 409 by Senator Payne of the 54th. A bill be titled an act to amend an act to revise and restate the law relating to the Whitfield County Board of Education.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 410 by Senator Payne of the 54th and Huffstetler of the 52nd. Bill be titled an act to amend an act to create a new Board of Education for Gordon County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 411 by Senator Anna Duarte of the 31st. Bill be titled an act to amend an act to provide for the election of members of the Board of Education of Haralson County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 412 by Senator Anna Duarte of the 31st. Bill be titled an act to amend an act creating the Board of Commissioner of Roads and Revenue in and for the County of Polk.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 413 by Senator Anna Duarte of the 31st. Bill be titled an act to amend an act providing a new Board of Education for Polk County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 414 by Senator Tillery the 19th. Bill be titled an act to amend an act to recreate and establish the Board of Commissioners of Long County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 415 by Senator Tillery the 19th. A bill be titled an act to amend an act providing for the election of the Board of Education of Long County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 416 by Senator Tillery the 19th. A bill be titled an act to amend an act reconstituting the Board of Commissioners of Telfair County.
Intergovernmental
Senate
coordination.
Bill 417 by Senator Harper the 7th. A bill be titled an act to amend an act creating the Board of Education of Berrien County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 418 by Senator Harper the 7th. A bill be titled an act to amend an act creating the Board of Commissioners and Roads and Revenues of Berrien County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 422 by Senator Goodman of the 8th. A bill be titled an act to amend an act to amend and supersede the laws pertaining to the governing authority of Lowndes County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 423 by Senator Goodman of the 8th. A bill be titled an act to amend an act providing for the numbers of members of the election of members of the Board of Education of Lowndes County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 424 by Senator Goodman of the 8th. A bill be titled an act to amend an act creating the Board of Commissioners of Brooks County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 425 by Senator Goodman of the 8th. A bill be titled an act to amend an act creating a new Board of Education in Lanier County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 426 by Senator Goodman of the 8th. A bill be titled an act to amend an act creating a Board of Commissioners for Lanier County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 427 by Senator Goodman of the 8th. A bill be titled an act to amend an act providing for the election of members of the Board of Education for Clinch County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 428 by Senator Goodman of the 8th, a bill being titled an act amending and act creating the Board of Commissioners of Clinch County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 429 by Senator Goodman of the 8th, a bill being titled an act amending and act to provide for the reapportionment of the Board of Education of Brooks County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 432 by Senator Burns, the 23rd, a bill being titled an act amending and act for the election and creation of the Board of Commissioners of Screven County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 433 by Senator Burns, the 23rd, a bill being titled an act amending and act providing for the election of members of the Board of Education of Screven County.
Intergovernmental
Senate
coordination.
Bill 434 by Senator Burns, the 23rd, a bill being titled an act amending and act providing for the Board of Commissioners of Warren County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 436 by Senator Kennedy, the 18th, Lucas, the 26th, Jones, the 25th, bill being titled an act amending and act providing for the restructuring of the City of Macon.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 437 by Senator Albers, the 56th, Beach, the 21st, Kirkpatrick, the 32nd, Brass, the 28th, bill be titled an act amending and act creating the Board of Commissioners of Fulton County.
Governmental affairs.
Senate Bill 446 by Senator Burns, the 23rd, a bill be titled an act to amend and act reconstituting the Board of Education of Warren County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 447 by Senator Burns, the 23rd, a bill be titled an act to amend and act creating the Board of Commissioners of Glasscock County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 450 by Senator Strickland, the 17th, Anderson, the 43rd, a bill be titled an act to amend and act to reestablish the Board of Commissioners in Newton County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
Senate Bill 451 by Senator Strickland, the 17th, Anderson, the 43rd, a bill be titled an act to amend an act providing for the Board of Education in Newton County.
Intergovernmental coordination.
That completes first readers.
Second reading of bills and resolutions. The clerk will read.
House Bill 1225 by Representative Gilliard, the 162nd Bodie, the 62nd Bruce, the 61st, a bill relating to the general provisions relative to law enforcement officers and agencies. House Bill 1226 by Representative Werkheiser, the 157th, a bill to amend an act creating the Board of Commissioners of Evans County. House Bill 1227 by Representative Werkheiser, the 157th, a bill to amend an act providing for the composition of the Board of Education for Evans County. House Bill 1228 by Representative Camp, the 131st, a bill to amend an act creating the Board of Commissioners of Lamar County. House Bill 1229 by Representative Camp, the 131st, a bill to amend an act creating the Board of Commissioners of Roads and Revenues for the County of Pike. House Bill 1230 by Representative Camp, the 131st, a bill to amend an act to provide for the election of members of the Lamar County Board of Education. House Bill 1231 by Representative Camp, the 131st, Hagan, the 156th, Earhart, the 36th, and Methiak, the 73rd, a bill relating to barbers and cosmetologists. House Bill 1232 by Representative Barton of the 5th, Ridley of the 6th, Prince of the 127th, Smith of the 133rd, and Corbett of the 174th, a bill relating to vehicles with false or secret compartments and registration and licensing of motor vehicles. House Bill 1233 by Representative Rhodes of the 120th, Lewicki of the 169th, Corbett of the 174th, a bill relating to the general provisions of the Department of Natural Resources. House Bill 1234 by Representative Ballinger of the 23rd, Hill of the 3rd, Lumsden of the 12th, Gunter of the 8th, and Cantrell of the 22nd, a bill relating to the right of attorney in dependency proceedings. House Bill 1271 by Representative Burchett of the 176th, Corbett of the 174th, Ridley of the 6th, Saints of the 180th, and Scoggins of the 14th, a bill relating to property. House Bill 1272 by Representative Smith of the 18th, Green of the 151st, Jenkins of the 132nd, Washburn of the 141st, Hogan of the 179th, a bill relating to solid waste management. House Bill 1273 by Representative Wilson of the 80th, a bill relating to public assistance. House Bill 1274 by Representative Carson of the 46th, Walensky the 74th, Administration of the 104th, Couch of the 50th, Cooper the 43rd, and others, a bill relating to general provisions relevant to state government. House Bill 1275 by Representative Rich of the 97th, Leverett of the 33rd, Oliver of the 82nd, a bill relating to municipal courts. House Bill 1276 by Representative Hawkins of the 27th, Bennett of the 94th, House of the 170th, England of the 116th, Parrish of the 158th, and others, a bill relating to the Department of Community Health. House Bill 1277 by Representative Saints of the 180th, Hitchens of the 161st, Petrie the 166th, Burchett of the 176th, Lumsden the 12th, and others, a bill relating to the county's special purpose local option sales tax. House Bill 1278 by Representative Bentley of the 138th, 139th, Stevens of the 164th, Smiley of the 135th, a bill relating to exemptions from sales and use taxes. House Bill 1279 by Representative Gamble, the 15th, Scoggins, the 14th, Gullo, the 19th, Kelly, the 16th, and Stevens, the 164th, a bill relating to dangerous drugs. House Bill 1280 by Representative Limon, the 99th, Estration, the 104th, and Jones, the 25th, a bill relating to municipal taxation. House Bill 1281 by Representative Buckner, the 137th, Oliver, the 82nd, Robichaud, the 48th, Holcomb, the 81st, Fry, the 118th, and others, a bill relating to disclosure, dissemination of criminal records to private persons and businesses. House Bill 1282 by Representative Gilliard in the 162nd, Bruce the 61st, Prince the 127th, and Nelson the 125th, a bill relating to educational programs in elementary and secondary education. House Bill 1283 by Representative Douglas the 78th, Fryer the 118th, Williams the 148th, Hogan the 179th, Evans the 57th, and others, a bill relating to miscellaneous provisions under the Quality Basic Education Act. House Bill 1284 by Representative Jackson the 128th, a bill to amend an act creating the Board of Commissioners of Washington County. House Bill 1285 by Representative Smiley, 135th, Smith, the 134th, Hughley, the 136th, Buckner, the 137th, Smith, the 133rd, a bill to amend an act creating the Muskogee County School District. House Bill 1286 by Representative Jackson, the 128th, a bill to amend an act to reconstitute the Washington County Board of Education. House Bill 1287 by Representative Camp, the 131st, a bill to amend the act creating the Board of Commissioners of Roads and Revenues of Upson County. Senate Bill 257 by Senator Anderson, the 43rd, Parent of the 42nd, Jones, the 22nd, Butler, the 55th, and Jackson, the 41st, a bill relating to the Georgia Crime Information Center. Senate Bill 326 by Senators Anna Duarte, the 31st, Watson, the 1st, Strickland, the 17th, Dugan, the 30th, Hatcher, the 50th, and others, a bill relating to state flag, seal, and other symbols. Senate Bill 338 by Senator Berkeley, the 11th, Hofstetler, the 52nd, Watson, the 1st, Kirkpatrick, the 32nd, Tillery, the 19th, and others, a bill relating to medical assistance generally. Senate Bill 342 by Senator Kirkpatrick, the 32nd, Watson, the 1st, Hofstetler, the 52nd, Berkeley, the 11th, Jackson, the 41st, and others, a bill relating to insurance. Senate Bill 363 by Senator Tillery, the 19th, Brass, the 28th, Mullis, the 53rd, Hatcher to the 50th, Cowser to the 46th, and others, a bill relating to the Fair Business Practices Act of 1975. That completes second readers.
Reports of standing committees. The clerk will read.
Representative Terry England of the 116th District Chairman on Committee on Appropriations submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Appropriations has had under consideration the following bills of the House and instructed me to report same back to the House. The following recommendation: House Bill 910, do pass by committee substitute. Respectfully submitted, Representative Terry England, the 116th District Chairman. Representative Hawkins, the 27th District Chairman of the Committee on Budget and Fiscal Affairs Oversight, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Budget and Fiscal Affairs Oversight has had under consideration the following bill of the House and instructed me to report the same back to the House. The following recommendation: House Bill 1008, do pass by substitute. Respectfully submitted, Representative Hawkins, the 27th District Chairman. Representative Darlene Taylor, the 173rd District Chairman of the Committee on Governmental Affairs, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Governmental Affairs has under consideration the following bills and resolutions of the House and Senate. Has instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendations: House Bill 1028, do pass. House Bill 1154, do pass. House Bill 1182, do pass. House Resolution 630, do pass by committee substitute. The Senate Bill 369, do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Darlene Taylor, 173rd District Chairman. Representative Sharon Cooper, the 43rd District Chairman of the Committee on House Health and Human Services, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Health and Human Services has had under consideration the following bills and resolutions of the House. Instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendations: House Bill 918, do pass by substitute. House Bill 1192, do pass by substitute. House Bill 1086, do pass. House Resolution 629, do pass. House Bill 963, do pass. House Bill 1092, do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Sharon Cooper, the 43rd District Chairman. Representative Martin of the 49th District, Chairman on Committee on Higher Education, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Higher Education is under consideration the following bill of the House. Instruct the media report same back to the House. Following recommendations. House Bill 1 due pass by committee substitute. Respectfully submitted, Representative Martin of the 49th District, Chairman. Representative Eddie Lumpson of the 12th District, Chairman of the Committee on House Insurance, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Insurance has had under consideration the following bills of the House and Senate. This instruct the media report the same back to the House with the following recommendation. House Bill 969 do pass. House Bill 1021 do pass. House Bill 1059 do pass. House Bill 1195 do pass. House Bill 1222 do pass. The Senate Bill 330 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Eddie Lumsden of the 12th District, Chairman. Representative Jan Tankersley, the 160th District, Chairman of the Committee on Intergovernmental Coordination Local, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Intergovernmental Coordination Local has had under consideration the following bills of the House and has instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendations. House Bill 1201 do pass. House Bill 1202 do pass. House Bill 1203 do pass. House Bill 1204 do pass. House Bill 1205 do pass. House Bill 1206 do pass. House Bill 1207 do pass. House Bill 1208 do pass. House Bill 1209 do pass. House Bill 1210 do pass. House Bill 1211 do pass. House Bill 1212 do pass. House Bill 1213 do pass. House Bill 1214 do pass. House Bill 1236 do pass. House Bill 1237 do pass. House Bill 1238 do pass. House Bill 1239 do pass. House Bill 1240 do pass. House Bill 1241 do pass. House Bill 1242 do pass. House Bill 1243 do pass. House Bill 1246 do pass. House Bill 1247 do pass. House Bill 1249 do pass. House Bill 1251 do pass. House Bill 1252 do pass. House Bill 1254 do pass. House Bill 1255 do pass. House Bill 1257 do pass. House Bill 1258 do pass. House Bill 1259 do pass. House Bill 1260 do pass. House Bill 1261 do pass. House Bill 1262 do pass. House Bill 1263 do pass. House Bill 1265 do pass. House Bill 1266 do pass. House Bill 1267 do pass. House Bill 1268 do pass. House Bill 1269 do pass. House Bill 1270 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Jan Tankersley, the 160th District, Chairman. Representative James Burchett of the 176th District, Chairman of the Committee on Judiciary and Non-Civil, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Judiciary and Non-Civil is under consideration the following bills of the House and the Senate and has instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendations. House Bill 1134 do pass. Senate Bill 226 do pass by committee substitute. Respectfully submitted, James Burchett of the 176th District, Chairman. Representative Van Smith of the 133rd District, Chairman of the Committee on Natural Resources and Environment, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Natural Resources and Environment had under consideration the following bills of the House. Instructed me to report the same back to the House. Following recommendations. House Bill 893 do pass by committee substitute. Respectfully submitted, Representative Van Smith of the 133rd District, Chairman. Representative Mathiak of the 73rd District, Chairman of the Committee on State Planning and Community Affairs, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on State Planning and Community Affairs is under consideration the following bills of the House and instructed me to report the same back to the House. Following recommendation. House Bill 725 do pass. House Bill 1131 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Mathiak of the 73rd District, Chairman. Representative Gerald Green of the 151st District, Chairman of the Committee on State Properties, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on State Properties is under consideration the following bills and resolutions of the House. Instructed me to report same back to the House. The following recommendations. House for Resolution 595 do pass by committee substitute. House for Resolution 664 do pass by committee substitute. House for Resolution 683 do pass. House Bill 1010 do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Gerald Green of the 151st District, Chairman. That completes the reading of the reports of standing committees.
All right, we're going on now to the local calendar. Going on to the local calendar, third reading and passage of uncontested local bills. House will come to order. If there is no objection, we will vote on the local calendar as a whole with a recorded vote. Hearing none, it is so ordered. The clerk will read the local calendar.
House Bill 1201 by Representative Dukes, the 154th Baker County. House Bill 1202 by Representative Dukes, the 154th Baker County. House Bill 1203 by Representative Perkle, the 155th Tift County. House Bill 1204 by Representative Dukes of the 154th Dougherty County. House Bill 1205 by Representative Saints of the 180th Camden County. House Bill 1206 by Representative Benton of the 31st City of Jefferson. House Bill 1207 by Representative Perkle, the 155th Tift County. House Bill 1208 by Representative Rhodes, the 120th Greene County. House Bill 1209 by Representative Rhodes, the 120th Greene County. House Bill 1210 by Representative Bonner, the 72nd Fayette County. House Bill 1211 by Representative Frazier, the 126th Burke County. House Bill 1212 by Representative Frazier, the 126th Burke County. House Bill 1213 by Representative Chokus, the 138th Marion County. House Bill 1214 by Representative Scott of the 76th Clayton County. House Bill 1236 by Representative Perkle, the 155th Irwin County. House Bill 1237 by Representative Perkle, the 155th Coffee County. House Bill 1238 by Representative Williams, the 148th Wilcox County. House Bill 1239 by Representative Williams, the 145th Baldwin County. House Bill 1240 by Representative Meeks, the 178th Appling County. House Bill 1241 by Representative Meeks, the 178th Wayne County. House Bill 1242 by Representative Rhodes, the 120th Putnam County. House Bill 1243 by Representative Jones, the 25th Forsyth County. House Bill 1246 by Representative Jones, the 25th Forsyth County. House Bill 1247 by Representative Saints in the 180th Camden County. House Bill 1249 by Representative Green in the 151st Quitman County. House Bill 1251 by Representative Parrish in the 158th Emmanuel County. House Bill 1252 by Representative Lumsden of the 12th Chattooga County. House Bill 1254 by Representative Chokus, the 138th Marion County. House Bill 1255 by Representative Chokus of the 138th Schley County. House Bill 1257 by Representative Chokus, the 138th Schley County. House Bill 1258 by Representative Taylor, the 173rd Grady County. House Bill 1259 by Representative Burchett of the 176th Ware County. House Bill 1260 by Representative Dukes of the 154th Dougherty County. House Bill 1261 by Representative Green in the 151st Terrell County. House Bill 1262 by Representative Dukes of the 154th Miller County. House Bill 1263 by Representative Dukes of the 154th Miller County. House Bill 1265 by Representative Bernal of the 77th Clayton County. House Bill 1266 by Representative Green in the 151st Randolph County. House Bill 1267 by Representative Green in the 151st Randolph County. House Bill 1268 by Representative Green in the 151st Terrell County. House Bill 1269 by Representative Meeks in the 178th Appling County. House Bill 1270 by Representative Burchett of the 176th Atkinson County.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered on the local calendar? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bills? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall these bills now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bills on the local calendar will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. What purpose does Representative Mary Frances Williams rise?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Is it not true that I wish, as a member of the Cobb delegation, that our delegation had the same option to have our bills introduced as local bills instead of going through the general bill process?
If the lady so states.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine on the passage of the bills on the local calendar. The ayes are 147, The nays are 10. These bills, having received the requisite constitutional majority, are therefore passed. What purpose does Chairman Tankersley rise?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to make a motion.
State your motion.
I move we immediately transmit the local calendar to the Senate.
Chairman Tankersley has moved that the bills that we just passed on the local calendar be immediately transmitted to the other chamber of this General Assembly. Is there any objection? Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and it is so ordered. Okay, we're going on now to morning orders. The chair is going to ask that members of the House please take your seats and be respectful to the members in the well. We're going to, let's say 1 minute each for the morning orders today. Chair recognizes for a morning order Representatives Robichaux, Representative McLaurin, Speaker Pro Tem Jones, and Chairman Martin for a morning order. Here she is.
Sorry, everyone. The city of Roswell lost one of their own on February 3rd. Lieutenant Joel Ruff of the Roswell Police Department was a dedicated husband, father, son, brother, and friend to many, and he will be sorely missed. Joel is survived by his wife Jennifer, his 4 children, Alexis, Ariana, Landon, and Liam, and 2 grandchildren. Joel was a graduate of Roswell High School and decided from an early age that he wanted to follow in his grandfather and his great-grandfather's shoes in law enforcement. He began his law enforcement career at the tender age of 17, being part of the Roswell Police Explorers Youth Program. And then at the age of 21, he was sworn in as a police officer for Roswell. He served first as a detention officer, then he was a street patrol officer. He next became a detective in our criminal investigation unit, and then he assisted in multiple cases across the state and also in cases with the FBI and the DEA. He was most recently promoted to the status of lieutenant. As you can see, Joel knew in his heart that service to our Roswell community was his calling. He was the definition of a servant leader in our community. He gave his all to our community, but was also known for his easy smile, his infectious laugh, and his love of the legendary rock band Pink Floyd, which was played at his services yesterday. Lieutenant Ruff now watches over his family and the entire city of Roswell from above, and we are better for it. Please join us in a moment of silence to honor Lieutenant Ruff. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Hagan for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is an honor and a privilege to serve here, and I know you all feel exactly the same way. but we also do sacrifice things back home when we're here, and like birthdays of family members. So today is my son Henry's 18th birthday, and it's the only birthday I've ever missed. Hope there'll be a few more in the coming years, but I just wanted to wish him a happy birthday. He's a wonderful young man. We love him so much. Also proud of him. He just made Eagle Scout a couple weeks ago, so I feel like his future's bright. He better be registered to vote right now. That's where he should be. But thank you for just letting me get up and wish my son Henry a happy 18th birthday today.
Chair recognizes Representative Mac Jackson for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I rise for a Black History moment. Miss Amanda Dixon was a biracial socialite in Georgia who became known as one of the wealthiest African-American women of the 19th century. She was born in Sparta, Georgia, Hancock County. After her father's death in 1885, Amanda Dixon inherited his estate. Her white relatives challenged the will, but Amanda ultimately won a successful ruling in the case. Her estate included 17,000 acres of land in Hancock and Washington counties in Georgia. Amanda died on June 11, 1893. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Chair recognizes Chairman Cooper for a morning order.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, today is recognized by the governor as Georgia Dental Hygienist Day, and a proclamation. It's our appreciation for what they do for us and the citizens of our state. And you notice you got a nice gift from them on your desk. Dental hygiene is so extremely important. One example, and you never think about it, if pregnant women would gargle with a non-alcoholic mouthwash twice a day, there is evidence to show that it is one of the things that helps premature deliveries. So dental hygiene is so important, and our dental hygienists do so much for our state in not only working in dental offices, but doing a great deal of pro bono work with our most needy citizens, especially our children. So if you see a dental hygienist out today anywhere in the halls, please tell them thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Chairman Jaspers for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First, just want to thank those of y'all who went and met with your 4-H'ers yesterday. There were 500 of them here at the depot. Secondly, it's a month. We've got to get your paperwork in, your letters of non-opposition, or whatever it is called, the fancy word, to get your road namings done. We only have 5 of them right now. And I know a number of y'all have asked me about it. This is the roadmap to getting it done. Please drop by my desk. Abby Day in our office is fabulous about helping you do that, getting the letters, getting everything done, your notification. But we've got to have it to be able to move it. So we need it done by March the 9th, because the time is moving, just about a month from now. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Representative Nelson for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good morning, colleagues. I bring you a moment in Black history today. The Lucy Craft Laney Museum is the only African-American museum in the central Savannah River area. The Small House Museum was the former home of Miss Lucy Craft Laney, who founded the first school for black boys and girls in Augusta, Georgia. Miss Laney dedicated her life to providing educational opportunities for black youth in the Augusta area. She was the founder of the Haynes-Norman Industrial Institute, which was located on the present site of the Lucy C. Laney Comprehensive High School, the Haynes-Norman Industrial Institute. She started the first kindergarten for black children in Augusta and founded the Lamar School of Nursing for Black Women. The Lucy Laney High School, Laney Walker Boulevard, and the Laney Walker Museum have all been named in Ms. Laney's honor. And I am a graduate of the Lucy C. Laney High School. Thank you, and I yield the well.
Chair recognizes Representative Wiedauer for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, today is CASA Day at the Capitol. Last year, over 2,700 CASA's Caring Compassion volunteers advocated for 10,000 children in our state's legal custody, providing each child with an impartial advocacy that nurtured hope, sought solutions, and protected their best interests. CASA volunteers play a critical role in ensuring children who experience abuse or neglect have opportunities to reach their full potential with the support of permanent connections to family. We recognize CASA volunteers for giving their time, commend Georgia CASA and local CASA organizations for maximizing resources and support through increased community involvement and awareness, local and state advocacy efforts, and more coordinated, compassionate response to child victims and families in crisis. Today we welcome a small group of CASA advocates to the Capitol who come to shed some light on the critical issues facing children in foster care. I hope if you see them around, you get a chance to visit with them and certainly thank them for their service to Georgia's most vulnerable children. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We yield the well.
Chair recognizes Chairman Carpenter and Representative Cantrell for a morning order.
All right, folks, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today is New American Celebration Day at the Capitol. It's the 9th annual celebration where folks downstairs will be getting their citizenship today. It's a great day for these folks as they pursue the American dream and add a lot of value to our communities. I come from a district that has 23 different nationalities in it, and I can tell you from firsthand experience what value they bring to our community. Thank you, Speaker, and I'll yield the well.
Chair recognizes Representative Schofield for a morning order. Representative Schofield. She's going to wave. All right, we're going on now to the rules calendar. Going on to the rules calendar. If you have a bill on the rules calendar, be prepared to present it. Clerk will read the caption to House Bill 1049.
House Bill 1049 by Representative LaHood, the 175th and others to be entitled an act to amend Chapter 27 of Title 43, the official code of Georgia annotated relating to nursing home administrators so as to revise the composition of State Board of Nursing Home Administrators. This bill having referred to the Committee on Health and Human Services. The committee recommends that this bill do pass.
Chair recognizes Chairman LaHood to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members of the House. House Bill 1049 adds 2 members to the State Board of Long-Term Care Facility Administrators. Expanding the board's membership will take the total number from 9 to 11 board members. And what this does is pretty simple. It just allows the governor to appoint members that will broaden the representation of long-term care providers to cover all sizes and geographic locations. I would appreciate your favorable consideration. And Mr. Speaker, if there's no questions, I'll yield the well.
You have questions if you care to yield.
I'll take one question.
Chair recognizes Representative Bentley to your left for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
Yes.
Is it not true that what I'm about to say is...
I see you.
Is it not true that what I'm about to say is not a question, but more so a comment just for awareness purposes?
I believe that to be true.
And my comment is that although I am going to support this bill to allow, add more members to the Nursing Home Administration Board, we in the funeral industry just want to make certain that nursing homes across the state are aware that it's very important that they are very mindful of when they make those very sad calls to families when someone passes away and the family give them the name of a mortuary to call, that they are very mindful of making sure they call the right mortuary, because that creates a lot of problems for the families going forward when the wrong funeral home is contacted. Is that not true, Mr. Representative LaHood?
I believe that to be true, and I believe that would be a great best practice for providers to
Thank you.
adopt. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I yield the well.
Gentleman has yielded the well. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machines. On the passage of House Bill 1049, the ayes are 159, the nays are 1. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Clerk will read the caption to House Bill 412.
House Bill 412 by Representative Dempsey of the 13th and others to be entitled an act to amend Title 43 of the Official Code of Georgia Annotated relating to professions and businesses so as to provide for the licensure of individuals in the practice of applied behavior analysis. This bill having referred to the Committee on Regulated Industries, and that committee recommends that this bill do pass by committee substitute.
Chair recognizes Chairman Dempsey to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, friends here in the House. Today, I bring you an important measure as we all continue to deal with the issues confronted by behavioral health in our communities and with people you love. This is something that can greatly help. House Bill 412, I want to direct you to the piece of paper on your desk from Marcus Autism Center, a trusted source and resource within our state. It breaks down very specifically what a behavioral analyst does and how important it is. The practice of applied behavioral analysis is a distinct profession requiring distinct training and competencies. It treats autism, geriatric patients, traumatic brain injuries, developmental disabilities, a word I should be able to say better than that after all of this time, but it deals with those measures. This is a consumer protection and public safety measure, which also allows for Medicaid billing. As an increasing number of private for-profit providers are moving into Georgia and establishing businesses, this will protect not only the person who is being served, but the parent or loved one who is making sure those services are appropriate, to make sure that they are licensed, credentialed, they have studied, passed the appropriate exams, take regular certification steps to do that. It allows for an assistant behavior analyst as well. If you, just an example of this, and this is one that I think of so much, and it does go back, because I know it's confusing when you start talking about these measures. Someone who has autism, a young child, I remember the first time I visited Marcus, I watched someone working with a child who was not able to eat. They had a feeding tube. That sensory deprivation that exists for many people who have brain differences. That behavioral analyst works in a positive way, reinforcing step after step, but with great patience. This one was particularly teaching the parent as well, at the same time, how you can introduce and keep working, and eventually a child who has never eaten, may take a long time, but will be able to do that. It is a slow, arduous, very sensitive process, and we need to treat it that way. This measure went through GORC. It was introduced last year. It was approved by GORC. It was also approved in committee, and I hope that you will support the licensing, the development of the board, which also will create for penalties for those who come into our state and are not certified, and the limited reciprocity that will allow for temporary licenses. If there are any questions, Mr. Speaker, I will take them. If not, I will yield the well.
You have a number of questions if you care to yield.
I will.
Chair recognizes Representative Walensky to your left for a question.
Thank you, Speaker. Does the gentle lady yield?
I do.
Is it not true that I thank you for carrying this bill, and the creation of a certification for behavior analysis is very much needed and will definitely make it safer for individuals who use these services in their home?
The gentleman knows of what he speaks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You further yield?
I do.
Chair recognizes Representative Al Williams to your left for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the lady yield?
I certainly will.
Is it not true that I support this bill? And the only question I have, and I don't expect you to answer today, I haven't read the whole bill, but the qualifications, what are they? There are a lot of unqualified counselors around.
There are, and you know, and I will say this too, having ABA therapy does not mean that you might not also need other therapies. Someone might need speech, they might need occupational as well, but they are specifically listed in the bill, the training, the education, the testing, and it is in compliance with the national rating of this as well, the national certification.
Will the gentle lady further yield?
I will.
It's not true that my niece and goddaughter is autistic, and I think this is a great bill to make sure everybody that talks knows what they're talking about.
Thank you so much. It has saved many a young life and made life better for those who are in their senior twilight years as well. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I will yield the well and ask for your favorable consideration.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to adopting the committee substitute? The chair hears none. The committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine. On the passage of House Bill 412, the ayes are 158. The nays are 3. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Clerk will read the caption to House Bill 430.
House Bill 430 by Representative Paulo, 32nd to be titled an act to amend Chapter 26 and Title 43 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to nurses so as to provide for a licensure of advanced practice registered nurses. This bill having referred to the Committee on Regulated Industries, that committee recommends that this bill do pass by committee substitute.
Chair recognizes Chairman Alan Powell to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and the ladies and gentlemen of the House. I bring you this morning House Bill 430. Pretty simple bill, ladies and gentlemen. This allows for the State Nursing Board to do specific licensure for APRNs. Right now, currently, the licensing board, the Nurses Licensing Board, authorizes LPNs and registered nurses. This takes it a step forward to allow those that have credentials that are considered to be APRNs and those other nurses that fall within that guideline to be specifically licensed as an APRN. Georgia has about 19,000 APRNs as I understand it, and we're only one of 11 states that does not allow for specific licensure for those nurses. Something that I think speaks well, because probably one of the unsung heroes that we have in this healthcare delivery system are the nurses. Or as some of y'all may have heard me say over the years, they're the ones that keep the doctors from killing us. But because of the shortage of medical practitioners, these APRNs are critical, just as the PAs are in this day and time. Except for you, Doc. This bill also has one other issue to it. This would allow APRNs and physician's assistants to issue the handicap placards for those people to the Department of Revenue for them to sign off on that for those who are eligible to have a handicap placard. Mr. Speaker, that's pretty well what it does, and I think this would do honor to all of those able-bodied men and women across this state that serve as the nurses and the advanced practice registered nurses across this state. I'll be glad to stand for questions, and if not, I'll get out of the way.
Well, you have one question. You care to yield?
I will yield for one question.
Chair recognizes Representative Maynard to your right for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chairman Powell, is it not true that physical therapists get a doctorate degree and they too should be allowed to give persons with disabilities and a handicap ticket?
Well, I don't have an opinion on that, but if the ladies state so, then it'd be the will of the body in here, and God knows what the Senate would do. Mr. Speaker, I would certainly
I'm not sure he knows what they'll do either.
Mr. Speaker, I would certainly appreciate your favorable consideration. Show honor to those men and women who practice medicine as APRNs, and I'll be certain to yield the will.
Chair, have another member that wishes to be heard. Chair recognizes Chairman Nix to speak to the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll be very brief. I can't pass up an opportunity to share some love with our nurses. As you know, my daughter is a nurse practitioner, and I wanted to just point out the people we're talking about here. We're talking about, when we talk about advanced practice registered nurses, we're talking about certified nurse midwives, certified nurse specialists in psychiatric or mental health, certified registered nurse anesthetists. These are highly trained and well-qualified people. One thing to think about, quite often, the first person that sees someone who's coming into the healthcare system is a nurse. We need these good people there. They're a critical component of our healthcare system. They work in a team, as was mentioned earlier with the doctors. I don't know that they keep them from killing people, but they are part of that critical team. Dr. Newton and I have talked about that a number of times, and they feel that need that we need. They can be there when the doctor's not there, and I just wanted to come and say I support that. And any way that we can encourage and give positive recognition to these very dedicated professionals, I really want to do it. They carry a lot of load in that healthcare system, and I hope that we will continue to give them the professional recognition that they deserve. And Mr. Speaker, with that, I'll yield the well. Thank you.
Gentleman has yielded the well. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to adopting the committee substitute? The chair hears none. The committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine on the passage of House Bill 430. The ayes are 162, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Clerk will read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions.
Honoring the life and memory of Tamara Natalie Madden. Honoring the life and memory of Ernest Clyde Charles. Honoring the life and memory of Dr. Arthur Linton A.L. Freeland. Honoring the life and memory of Bobby C. Smith, Jr. Recognizing February 26, 2022 as a day of remembrance. Recognizing, commending Tom O'Rourke, commending Jennifer Henley Morrow High School's 2021-2022 Teacher of the Year, and recognizing, commending Chairman Don Hogan on his outstanding public service. And for other purposes, that completes the reading of the privilege resolutions.
Is there any objection to adopting the privilege resolutions? The chair hears none, and the resolutions are adopted. What purpose does Representative Dreyer rise?
Make a motion, Mr. Speaker.
State your motion.
I'd like to move that HB 1244 be moved from intergovernmental coordination to government affairs. Both chairs have consented.
Representative Dreyer has moved that House Bill 1244 be recommitted from the Intergovernmental Coordination Committee to the Governmental Affairs Committee. The clerk will read the caption.
House Bill 1244 by Representative Dreyer of the 59th and others to be titled an act to amend the act creating the Board of Commissioners of Fulton County.
On the gentleman's motion that House Bill 1244 be recommitted from the Intergovernmental Coordination Committee to the Governmental Affairs Committee, is there objection? Is there objection? The chair hears none, and it is so ordered. House Bill 961 will be postponed until the next legislative day. All right, we're going on now to announcements. Going on to announcements. If you have signed up for an announcement, make your way to the front of the chamber. Chair recognizes the chairman of the Game, Fish, and Parks Committee, who is one day more past another year older, Chairman Trey Rhodes.
Thanks for that reminder, Mr. Speaker. Today at 2 o'clock, Game, Fish, and Parks will meet in 406 across the street in CLOB. 2 o'clock. Thanks.
Chair recognizes Representative McLean for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Working Family Caucus will meet upon adjournment, and your meals will be in room 307, so look forward to seeing you. 307
upon adjournment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Chairman Todd Jones for an announcement.
Good morning, everybody. I just want to remind you that the Mental Health Caucus will meet today, room 341. We have an expert in insurance parity. We also have Forsyth County Sheriff's Department's here who has done a co-responder model, and they're going to tell us a little bit about it. There will be lunch served, but I want to do a shout out to Ashley Newton, not in room 341. Thank you so much.
Chair recognizes Chairman F. Strachan for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Gunter Subcommittee of Judiciary will meet at 1:30 today, followed by the full Judiciary Committee meeting at 2 o'clock. 1:30 for subcommittee, 2 o'clock for full committee, both in room 132. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Chairman Dickey for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the Agriculture and Consumer Affairs Committee, we will be having our committee meeting today in room 341 at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Drenner for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can the members of the DeKalb County House delegation meet immediately upon adjournment in the ante room right there for a brief meeting? Thank you.
Chair recognizes Representative Gullett for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Subcommittee for Cityhood will be meeting today, 2:30, room 606 in the CLOB. Thank you so much.
Chair has an announcement. Chair has an announcement. The messenger up here at the podium, Betsy Thoreau, has a cell phone that was found in the ladies' restroom. I did not find it, okay? Let's just be clear on that. But if you've lost a cell phone in the ladies' restroom, you need to see Betsy on that. All right, we have another group of local bills today, and it's a large stack tendered by both members of both parties. If there is no objection, we will have the clerk we will temporarily suspend the rules of the House, have the clerk assign each of the bills to the Intergovernmental Coordination Committee, as we've done on 2 or 3 occasions this week. Is there objection? Is there objection? The chair hears none, and it is now so ordered. All right, we have a birthday today. Listen up. Let's all wish a very, very happy birthday to Representative Yasmin Neal. That completes our announcements. The chair recognizes the Majority Leader of the House for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until tomorrow, Friday, February the 11th, 2022, at 10 a.m. 10 a.m.
The Majority Leader has moved that this House be adjourned until Friday, February 11 at 10 a.m. All those in favor of the motion will say aye. All those opposed will say no. The ayes have it. And this House will be adjourned until Friday, February 11th at 10 a.m.